Hello and welcome to another episode of The Funny Kind with your host, Erica Gummany. Get ready for some laughs and inspiration as Erica takes us on a journey to find the kindness and light in everyday places. And now, without further ado, here's your host, Erica Gummany.
Hi everybody, this is Erica Gummany. Welcome to another episode of The Funny Kind, Erica Squared. We have another special guest, the one and the only, the infamous Dorene Michaels. You may recognize the luxurious sound of her voice because Dorene was kind enough to do my little intro and outro of this video.
I did.
Which is so kind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
And Dorene is on the morning show of the WKLH Hometown Rock here in Milwaukee.
Dave and Dorene. I'm the Dorene.
You're the Dorene. Dorene and I have known each other for many years through a mutual friend, Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi. We met a long time before that when you were friends with Noreen.
Oh, that's right.
We used to work at the radio station that I used to work at before I was at KLH, but we're owned by the same company, so we're in the same building, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
So it really has been probably closer to 30 years.
Oh my gosh, does that make me feel old? Yeah. Hi, Noreen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's doing so good.
I know she is.
Rock and roll, man. Gosh, do I have some good stories of me and Noreen back in the day.
I bet you do.
Woo! Spring break, barely made it out alive. But I won't say anything because the kids might listen.
That's true.
Probably
and
not.
then you're here, so it's...
That's true. So you had reached out to me a couple weeks ago about a new project that you are doing that is so interesting to me. And I want to hear more about it, and I want to understand more.
All right.
Tell us more, Dorene.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I started on January 5th. So every day this year, from January 5th through December 31st, I am trying something new every day that I haven't done ever in my life.
Okay.
And it started, one, because I had done a story of a girl who did it in England. This girl named Jess. I thought it was a great idea, but I hadn't got any further than that. And then one day my partner Dave said, you should do this. And I was like, let me think about it. And I did. And what I realized was I have a big birthday.
Ooh.
Coming up in August.
30 already?
I know.
What?
I have 3 kids, and they're all out of the house. So one is out of college and traveling the world, and 2 are in college. And my husband and I work different hours. You know, I'm done at like 10:30, and he's at work until 5, 6 o'clock, whatever. So I had all this time to do whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah, sounds cool.
And I did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat around, and it wasn't because I was sad that like nobody was there anymore. I just was there, like in a funk. Like I needed to find something to do, but I didn't know what.
You're probably wondering, where are Dorene and Erica?
We're in a fun place.
What we're calling this episode is Defunking at Divine, which I just thought was so serendipitous. So we are at Divine in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Me and Andy Johnson are the owners. They're very nice that they gave us this space. This used to be Rafters for those of you on the south side.
Yeah.
My family and I came here all the time. I loved it. So I'm so glad that they're reviving the space. So we're in the family room that's called. And this is allegedly where like the mafia would hang out. So there's a picture of me back there that somebody used. And then there's...
Which, by the way, you look spectacular.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I haven't aged one bit.
Not at all. The hair color different.
A little bit. Anyway, so thanks for having us here, Divine. It's a really great place that you can get wine and beer, and you have live music and trivia. And
yeah. So when I thought about trying something new every day, I thought, okay, I had originally declared this year the year of me.
Okay.
You know, for that big birthday. And I was going to do what I wanted to do and go where I wanted to go and buy what I wanted to buy, not ask anybody and not care. And then January rolled around and I was like, September, October, November, December. 4 months had passed and I hadn't gone anywhere, done anything, bought anything. And I wasn't taking care of me. And I think as a mom, and a working mom, and then, you spend all your time taking care of your kids, and then you're always like, I never have time for me, and I put everybody else first, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, when nobody's there and you have nobody to take care of but you, we don't.
It's weird. It's weird because it sounds so cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be great. I have all this time. It's going to be fun. We're going to travel. We're going to do it. Yeah, okay, well, we still have to work. And since and I just wasn't taking care of me.
Right.
And then you throw in that whole, as a woman of a certain age, you get to feel all these things that you haven't felt before, menopause, and it's not fun. And so throw all of that in, and I am like a Hallmark movie.
Whoever thought we'd be talking about this nonsense
I know.
back in the day when we were just going to Vern's and wondering who the bands were this weekend?
Yeah.
Good times.
Nobody. But here we are.
Here we are.
Absolutely.
And you're in a huge life transition. I
Mhm.
mean, this is like one of the big ones, like 3 babies all now out of the nest.
Yeah.
Flown, living their best life, beautiful, amazingly talented, great people. All good, everything you'd ever want as a parent.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's not hard. Like,
Well, oh no, and it is. And it's how you think you'll feel and handle it isn't necessarily how it's going to be.
sometimes I can speak for myself. When I get into a funk, I want to get busy because the busyness gets my mind off the thing that I need to address. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's not good, because if it's something you really need to address, you can be really busy. But then when you're not busy, there it is. You still got to deal with it at some point. So I thought about that with you. Like,
yeah, no, you know what? And the thing is, I think I'm the opposite of that. Instead of finding things to do, I just wallow.
you get quiet.
Yeah, and withdrawn. So, my friends will be like, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, oh, yeah, busy.
Oh my gosh.
But busy sitting with the dog,
Ooh. Girl, that's good. So when okay, this is really good. You're hitting it, because it's that fake it. Oh, I'm so busy. I'm but deep down you're sitting at home with your dog watching the 17th Hallmark show.
And I just
crying.
don't, it takes too much effort, to get dressed up and go. Which for me, this has forced me to do it. I mean, not necessarily get all dressed up and put my makeup on and go places.
But when you want to go buy a kumquat, you want to look your best, because Dorene did try a kumquat as part of one of her.
I did. That was one of my things after watching the last Funny Kind, and I felt the same way as you. I didn't like it. No. There is something to that when we were just talking a little bit ago about faking it until you make it, and people thinking that you have it all together.
The things that's one of the real negative things is you see the fake that people, and it's not even necessarily fake, but you see a small portion of somebody's moment in their life, and then you compare your whole life to that, and you think, oh my gosh, I suck, they're awesome, what's wrong with me?
Yes.
And that is so crazy.
And the perfect example of that is when I got here today, when I was taking off my coat. I don't know if you noticed, but I had to step in and out of it because my zipper's broken.
I am so bummed I did not notice.
I'm not going to get it fixed yet because it's winter and they want 3 weeks, and I'm not giving them my coat for 3 weeks, and I'm not getting a new coat. I really like my coat. So I get people talk about it all the time, but it really is sort of almost like an inadvertent icebreaker where people can see you're human and you're vulnerable, and you don't always have your shit together just because you do something where people think you might.
Right.
Me. So when the idea came up that I could put myself out there and try things that I'd never done before, whether it be something small and insignificant or something pretty major, I'm probably not going to jump out of an airplane. But I might. Came up with a list of things, and I took some of this girl Jess's list.
We're calling it Dorene Discovers.
Yeah.
So I'll include all of the hashtags and the social media links so that you can encourage Dorene along the way.
Follow me,
be a positive cheerleader in her journey, as funny, kind people are.
Positive, that's the key.
Positive.
Yeah.
So going back to what you originally said, that you were feeling funky. So now we started this January 5th. We're a month into this-ish, depending on when you're watching this. Do you feel less funky?
Yes, to a point. There are still days where I'm forcing myself. And I also, the more I open myself up, the more I find that people want to help. I find that heartwarming and helpful.
Yeah.
Because then you're not alone. But
You're not
sometimes
alone.
sometimes you have to ask, or you have to put yourself out there. And if I help someone along the way,
that's so good.
and for the most part, people are, this is a great idea. Maybe you'll inspire me to do something.
Yeah. Good for you.
Have you done this? Can you try this? And people give me suggestions. And then there's these other people who say, that's a long time. Are you sure you could do a year worth of this? Or like if I posted something that may not have been overly exciting, a couple of opinions of, oh, well, you know what? Maybe you can get some good ideas from somebody else.
Right. And
But
why are you sitting
I've
on the
never
couch
done,
criticizing me versus going out and doing something yourself?
Like maybe you're in your own kind of fun. It's funny. When you put yourself out there and you make yourself vulnerable, all of a sudden, everybody has an opinion.
Yes.
And granted, I am putting it out there. But I decided that I'm in charge of this, and so I make the rules. Like, this isn't like somebody's idea of, this is how you defunk your life.
Yes.
This was just me saying, this is what I'm going to do. So they're emailing me and they're saying, have you tried this, or have you tried this, or I really think you'd like this, or whatever it is, which is heartwarming to me, because for the one or two naysayers, there seems to be
mostly good there, and that's the whole point of the funny kind too. There is more light and kindness in the world than there is anything else. Yeah,
and that's what I'm finding, and people are willing to help me.
Dorene, you have said that you love when people give you some suggestions for your list.
I do.
And I was reading a little bit about you on KLH, the Hometown Rocks website, to learn more about you. And you had shared that you're not a big fan of birds.
I hate birds. Actually, I should say it's not a hate, it's a fear.
Okay.
It's a fear. It's a fear.
So I'm imagining sometime between now and the end of 2023, there's going to be a bird thing. And it's going to be beautiful. And you're not going to be like catching a hawk coming at you with big birds. It's not that, but there's something's going to come to you on this list that's going to be pretty cool.
I'm not opposed to it.
Okay.
So I'm on my social media. I'm on the radio station's social media. I talk about it on the air. People everywhere I go are like, what'd you do today? What's on your weekend plan? So I like that it gives an icebreaker. It's an automatic icebreaker, and that connection. So now we're on the same team.
That's so awesome. And so what I'm hearing from you, Dorene Michaels, our special guest today, is connection really got you out of your funk. Yeah.
You know what? Yes.
And so if we put out these sparks of light and make these connections, the veil that I feel sometimes that is like, sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, man, it just feels like a collective funk is over us. And it's like, and for your job where you have to sometimes read the news, and it's like, goodness, it's like a police scanner you're reading, and it's just, it's so funky. So I think as a life lesson from Dorene, it's, connection and reaching out to people to learn about them and find commonality and seek to understand each other. I mean, that's so beautiful, and it's all out there for us if we seek it. It's so beautiful.
So sometimes maybe you just need to be in a funk to find deeper meaning in things.
Say that one more time.
Sometimes maybe you need to be in a funk to find the deeper meaning of things.
Yeah. Because you can't always be unfunky.
No. And you know what? And I think that, someday after this is done, I might just be in a funk again some other time. I don't know. But at least I know if I take what I learned from this year's experience, who knows? Maybe I'll write a book.
Right. And it's almost like you can't worry about that.
No. One day at a time.
One day at a time, one moment. And let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So I know that you're out there in the public more, and you have said that you've kind of been able to not worry about what other people think as much as you did in the beginning. But this is a pretty public thing that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pushing it out there and you're opening yourself up to it. What were some of the voices in your head, if you're comfortable sharing, when you thought about doing it?
I think that, are you talking about like the negative?
Yeah, or like when I find that when I do something brave, the voices in my head are, and I've learned this through following, people like Mel Robbins or whatever, or life coach people and therapists or whatever, that those voices in your head that feel negative are actually trying to protect you from getting hurt. So they're like, Dorene, you don't want to put yourself out there. What if these ideas are stupid? What if you do something dumb? What if you make an ass out of yourself? Everybody's going to laugh at you. Like I was like, what if 7 people watch this video and it fails? There are already 1 million people doing this. There are millions and millions of people.
True.
So what? You know why I did this? To defunk.
Yeah.
For the same reason you're doing yours.
Yeah.
I was like, gosh darn it. The world is not this dark and dreary place.
I think that, yeah, of course. Because like, what if you fail?
Yeah. What if you fail?
I think that what I've learned in doing what I do for as long as I have is that vulnerability, even though it's difficult and we don't like it necessarily, is necessary. And I think that's where I came up with I make the rules. Like if I said in the beginning, like I set out to run a 5K. So I downloaded this couch. I can't run. I work out. There's certain things that I really like to do. Running is not one of them. I don't like to run. I don't like to ride a bike. And I don't like to climb the stairs. So I downloaded this app. And I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I don't know if I'll be able to stick with it. I don't know that I'll be able to do it without getting hurt. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it and actually run a 5K. But what I do know is that I'm going to try.
Girl, there is like a quote that's coming right out of this conversation up in here.
I'm going to try.
I don't know if, but I'm going to try.
Yeah.
Good for you. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I can't wait. I'll be cheering you all. I'll be sitting on the sideline, maybe with the cooler as you cross the finish line. Go, Dorene, go.
If I have 360 days of this, and I do 360 things, it doesn't matter if I've done them 1 a day or if I've done 4 in 1 day and then I took the weekend off or whatever. So I am amending and making my own rules. I've learned it's okay to fail.
Yeah. And it is, first of all, consider yourself very lucky that the voices in your head are quiet enough that they don't pull you back from action. That's a gift, because not everybody has that.
That was a learned process.
You learned to quiet those voices, and that is something that I think a lot of people struggle with, myself included sometimes, especially if I'm doing something scary. I want to go out there and find, I love making people laugh and I love encouraging people. Those are my 2 favorite things to do.
Yeah, and so by putting these videos out there, you might just help someone along the way.
Maybe. Well, gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
I'll share all of Dorene's information, and please follow her on her journey. And until we meet again on our next episode of The Funny Kind, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Ooh, I love you. Ooh, my little schmoopers.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Funny Kind with your host, Erica Gummany. Be sure to subscribe now so you don't miss any of the laughs or inspiration. And Erica wants to hear from you. Be sure to reach out if you know of someone Erica should connect with as she continues to take us on a journey to find kindness and light in everyday places.